Hi everyone, welcome to the Mad Max. This is of course the design process that you already know, and here I am marking out the pattern on the steel, basically marking out all the steel that needs to be removed. This is a slab of D2 carbon steel. The easiest way to do this so you don't get it wrong is to glue your template of the knife onto the steel. Here I'm just using simple PVA wood glue. Does the job just fine. Now, even though I marked vertical lines for the angle grinder to cut, I decided that the front pieces could just be taken off in a single piece. So eye protection and hearing protection is very important at this point. Just making an initial score mark, just checking it's correct, and then very carefully going over it a second time just to make the groove just a little bit deeper. Once you're happy the groove is deep enough, that's when you start to cut properly. These angle grinders just make the job so much easier. And now again carefully making the first groove around the bend. And then finishing off the cut. As you can see here, I'm leaving quite a bit of space between the end of the cut and the template. I'd rather make the cuts too short than too long, otherwise you're just going to cut into the actual handle of the knife. Also be very careful how you handle this steel after you finish cutting, because it will build up quite a bit of heat. There's all the cuts completely finished. Now comes the hard work, cutting it all out with a hacksaw. The metal was making quite a bit of noise when I was cutting, so I lubricated the blade with some WD-40. Here I'm just cleaning off some of the burrs from the cutting. Last thing I want to do is catch my finger on one of these and slice it open. And there's the rough cut steel. Very uncomfortable to hold, but you get the idea. They are marking out the lanyard hole and the holes for these screws. The design of this is going to have 2 screws enter from the left and the other 2 enter from the right. And they're going to be staggered. Here I've got the drill on the lowest speed possible, and then you just drill through the metal very carefully and very slowly. There's no rush, but I'm also lubricating with WD-40, so any smoke that you see coming up is actually the WD-40 burning off.
I want to ask, is the cord size important? I don't have a cable written on the worksheet.
Okay, I just got to measure. Hang on. This is the steel tubing that'll be the lanyard hole, and that is 6mm, and this drill bit is 5mm. Okay, the holes are drilled. Sorry, I should say the holes are pre-drilled, because this is actually going to be going in here, here and here. Here you can see I've got a large threaded nut hammered into the hole so it's secure, and it actually sits on the lip. When I drilled the second hole with the large drill bit, I didn't go all the way. I created a small lip, and by hammering this large nut into place I can actually cut it flush so it's got a perfect fit. If I'd used standard nuts, there would have been of all different sizes, so it's easier just to get the long nut and cut it to size. Here I am partially drilling the larger hole. You'll see at the top of the screen the first nut coming in from the left. The second hole is drilled from the right, the third hole towards the middle of the screen is drilled from the left side of the handle, and the one on the bottom is drilled from the right side of the handle. And you can see the small lip on the second hole, which is now at the top of the screen, just behind my wrist. And here I've numbered each one corresponding to the hole that it's supposed to go into. Because the holes drilled are not exactly the same, each little nut that's been drilled, cut, is not the same size either, so they've got to match. Alright, that's it for this episode, guys. I'll see you in part 2.